Hi everyone, this is Pre-Calculus, Chapter 1, Part 1, and this section covers interval notation. Alright, so interval notation is a convenient way to describe a continuous range of numbers. To describe the set of all real numbers between 2 and 7, but not including 2 and 7, so that would be like if we said x is less than 2, right, or x is greater than 2. Okay, so that doesn't include 2, it's just the numbers that are greater than 2, and x is less than 7. We're going to use parentheses, and I know this looks like an ordered pair, but you're going to be able to tell from the context of how you're using it that this is an ordered pair, it's an interval notation. Now, if we wanted to include 2 and 7, we would use square brackets. Okay, so the way that we wrote this last year in Algebra 2 looks like this. So for this one, we would say 2 is less than x, which is, 2 is less than x, and x is less than 7, like that. So that's going to be all the numbers between 2 and 7. For this one, we would have to say 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 7, right? So 2 and the 7 are included in that. When we write that on a number line, we would have 1, 2, when we write that on a number line for this one, let me change colors here. For this one, with the parentheses, that would be from 2 to 7 with those. Actually, those would be the round open circles, right? Because it doesn't include the 2 and the 7. It's everything in between 2 and 7. Okay? And then the other one would include the 2 and the 7. So those would be filled in circles. All right. Express the set of all numbers greater than or equal to -3 and smaller than 10 in interval notation. All right, so it's greater than or equal to -3. So that means we're going to use a bracket for -3 and less than 10. So we'll do our 10, and then we'll use a parentheses right there. All right, examples. Describe the following sets of numbers in interval notation. All right, all numbers less than 6.21. So for that one, that would be the same as saying everything less than 6.21, so x is less than 6.21. So we're going to write that, and we're going to be using parentheses, not a bracket. But what we need to do for our other interval, our less than, on this side, is we're going to use an infinity symbol. We're going to use the negative infinity symbol. So that means all the numbers less than. And then on this side, we're going to write 6.21. So that's how you do A. B is all the numbers greater than or equal to 4. Okay? So everything greater than or equal to 4. So we would have written that as x is greater than or equal to 4. That. Okay? To write that in interval notation, our greater than or equal to is going to be a bracket, a square bracket, and our 4 goes there. And then we want everything after that. So we're going to use a positive infinity sign. And when we use the infinity sign, we're always going to use the rounded bracket, not the square. Okay, so that's everything that is greater than or equal to 4. For this one, we're going to do all the numbers less than or equal to -93/16. Okay, so what that means on this one, how we would write it the old way, would have been all the numbers less than or equal to. So x is less than or equal to negative 93 over 16. So to write that in interval notation, we're going to need negative infinity, so everything less than negative 93 over 16. And then this on the right would need to be a bracket because it's including that number. The 93 over 16 is included, less than or equal to. All positive numbers. So that's going to be, well, that would be everything more than 0. So that means that x is greater than 0. And to write that, we're going to say 0, and then everything greater than that would be infinity on that side. Okay, so if you're everything greater than, your infinity is going to be on the right. If it's everything less than, you'll need a negative infinity on the left. An interval with rounded brackets is called open. So that's going to be the ones that don't include it. It's just less than or greater than. Looks like that. An interval with square brackets is called closed. That's included. An interval with one rounded bracket and one square bracket is called half open. So it'll be something like that or like that. Intervals and number lines. Okay, so it wants us to put these intervals on a number line. So this means everything from -2 to 3, right? And these are not equal to, these are just less than. So this would be like x is greater than, let's see, nope, did that wrong. This would be -2 is less than x, which is less than 3, right? So we're going to need -2. Let's put our 0 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll just have -1, -2, -3. Okay, so our marks are going to be between -2 and +3. And we're going to use an open circle for our -2 and an open circle for our +3 because it's not equal to. It's just the numbers between. There's no equal to in there because we have our rounded brackets. Okay, this one has one square bracket, but our -2 is not include the -2. It's all the ones greater than -2. So first let's mark these. -1, -2, -3. Okay, so it's everything that is greater than -2, so we're going to put an open circle, and then everything less than or equal to +3, so we're going to fill that one in. Right, so that would be -2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 3. That's what that one looks like. All right, this is -2 to infinity, so this means x is greater than -2, everything that's more than -2. Now, we know that this isn't greater than or equal to because it's a rounded bracket there, so that means it needs to be an open circle. And then it's going to be everything going that way, to infinity and beyond. Right, so everything going that way. So that's how we mark those on a number line. And we did this, we did this part where we wrote x is greater than -2, and we marked it on a number line last year, but this is just another way of writing it. All right, unions of intervals. If we want to describe a set of numbers which includes two intervals, we write the two intervals with the notation U. It looks like a U. It's just a big U in between them. Write the interval notation for the set of numbers which includes the intervals -6, 0, and 2 to infinity. Okay. All right, so that means that we're just going to write this first one And then we're going to write this big U. And then we're going to write the second one. Super easy. Okay. That was A. For B, we're just going to do the same thing. The set of numbers which includes all real numbers except 7. Okay, so first we need all the real numbers before 7, and then all the real numbers after 7, right? So it will go along like this, and then we would have 7 right here, and then it'll go along like that, right? So if it's on a number line, so we've got 7 not included, okay? So we're going to write that as everything before it, so that would be negative infinity. And then we want to stop when we get to 7, but not include 7. Okay, so instead of a square bracket, we're a roundy bracket because it doesn't include 7. Then our union symbol. Then we're going to start back up at 7, but not include 7. And then we're going to keep going to infinity. Right? That's how you would do that one. And that is it for the first lesson. Thanks for watching. Bye.